Hello everyone, welcome to episode 7 of In Pursuit of Clarity, entitled Extending Our Reach. This will be fairly short, but also very important, and I hope I'm able to communicate the magnitude of its importance properly. I feel like I may have failed a bit in the last attempt. Our collective situation with regards to censorship and marginalization online is quickly becoming so dire that I think something needs to be done, and quickly. And I really do think what I'm about to outline could be a significant help. And I don't see a means whereby those seeking to silence truth and freedom of speech could stand in its way, or prevent its efficient functioning. The link-aggregator utility I touched on in the video linked in the description below, for those who haven't yet seen it, or those who've just skimmed it on the first go-round, has immense potential to help us extend our reach on the internet, if it were created and used specifically for this purpose. And I'm hoping I can explain just how this might work. Firstly, a quick overview of the problem. Nearly every major social media and content sharing site on the web is swiftly becoming, or has become, an echo chamber, and this is by design. Medium.com, Quora, Slashdot, Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, all of these and far more are marching to the same drum, and seeking to boost the same viewpoints and prevent others from being heard. But what if there existed a means for our content and viewpoints, especially the most convincing and well-crafted of them, to gain some traction on these sites? You're probably thinking this is all but impossible. Post an article discussing the upsides of nationalism, for example, touting the positive effects of any leader of any nation working in the best interests of his own nation and citizens, as opposed to the moneyed powers, and you'll quickly see yourself downvoted into oblivion over the coming days, as your content becomes virtually invisible. But what if, just after you posted this article, you then submitted the URL with a short description of what you'd written to a little browser add-on utility, which then caused this link to appear to hundreds or thousands of like minds around the world, who could then read it and upvote and comment if they saw fit? What if you could do this with any article or forum post, and all of those other like minds around the world could do the same? If this utility was in the hands of a sufficient number of those seeking to turn the cultural tide and prevent the wholesale blacklisting of the expression of healthy viewpoints online, a veritable army of sorts could be created, with instant access to one another's submissions and posts, which would lead to several upvotes or positive comments, which would then lead to the algorithms then displaying the pieces of our content much more prominently across each and every one of these echo chambers. The URLs posted wouldn't always need to be of our own authorship either. Consider Jordan Peterson's post regarding the JQ a while back, which I've also linked below. The resulting comments and discussions that resulted were a thing of beauty, as hundreds openly called him out and challenged his manipulative and misleading piece. I tend to think these things have real impact in helping to reach the deeply indoctrinated, serving to spark a deeper dive into issues they might otherwise avoid. Now, it's very important to state here that I'm not suggesting any violation of terms of service on any of these sites. Far from it. This is merely a means to immediately highlight one another's content, allowing us all to be first on the scene, to assure crooked algorithms and armies of the histrionic far left don't silence all opposing viewpoints. As I mentioned in the initial video, this utility could make use of powerful algorithms to assure the URLs of these articles or posts or submissions would be ordered in a hierarchy based on how well liked they are by our community at large, allowing for a hierarchical listing to focus first and foremost on the best and most convincing of the submitted material. Anyone can submit any link at any time, but because it's vital we communicate our ideas as clearly and efficiently as possible and present the best and most convincing face, the hierarchical ordering is an important element here. So just take a moment to picture the ramifications of such a simple utility being regularly used by a large number of us. For the first time, our voices could permeate even the most Stalinist of echo chambers and reach the eyes and ears of hundreds of thousands of those who simply haven't ever been exposed to an intellectually honest presentation of the other side of the argument. I've noticed we have countless skilled researchers and writers and thinkers who simply have no outlet as it stands. They've been shut out of the discourse. I've heard from so many of you looking for meaningful ways to help. This would certainly be one of them. Just periodically checking your link list to follow the URLs submitted and giving honest feedback could make a world of difference, even if just a handful did this on a regular basis, let alone hundreds or thousands. I'm still in dire financial straits myself, and barring some miracle, I expect this to continue for at least a few months until I'm able to reach subsistence level, though a tremendous thank you to those who've helped with patronage and otherwise. So I'm not able to aggressively seek out investors and partners to make this happen just yet, which is why I'm making this cast. But this would be a fairly cheap, lightweight, simple, and straightforward creation that wouldn't take a great amount of time to create or deploy. And by running a simple and unobtrusive ad, could potentially repay any investor in full within a relatively short period of time. And all additional earnings could then be used to launch other projects. I'm not seeking a penny in profit from this creation personally. I'm pushing the idea so aggressively because I really do think this is one of the last remaining solutions to the state of affairs we're facing online, especially with regards to reaching those who can still be reached, and I don't believe we have the luxury of sitting on our hands any longer. I know my subscriber base isn't yet big enough to allow these things to take immediate flight, even if the ideas are sound, but my hope is that these words will reach the right person at the right time, willing to take a little risk to help prevent the discourse online from becoming completely subverted and controlled by the most dishonest of actors. This strikes me as a direct means of wresting some of that control and influence back. I hope you agree, and as always, feel free to share your opinions, either in comments or by contacting me personally. And feel free to be as critical as you'd like. I like to think there's no ego at play here, just a desire for workable solutions. Thanks for listening, and Merry Christmas, everyone.
This is the end, beautiful friend. This is the end, my